In a zoo where the strict laws of nature typically reign, a story unfolded that left everyone, from the caretakers to casual visitors, stunned and speechless. It all began with a tiny domestic cat and a lynx cub, whose meeting seemed like a mere coincidence but blossomed into something extraordinary that no one could have foreseen. To understand how these events unfolded and how this remarkable friendship concluded, it's worth tracing their journey step by step. The lynx, named Nora, arrived at the zoo as a tiny cub. Her fur had yet to take on the vibrant adult coloring that distinguishes these graceful predators, and her paws seemed disproportionately large for her fragile little body. In those early days, she resembled a fluffy kitten more than the powerful beast she would one day become. The caretakers knew full well that, in time, Nora would transform into a strong and majestic animal, but for now, she was just a playful cub. Yet, beneath her cheerful demeanor lurked a subtle melancholy that was hard to miss. Her spacious enclosure was filled with everything a cub could want for entertainment: toys, branches, small hiding spots. Crowds of people constantly gathered around, peering curiously at this unusual zoo resident. But despite all this, Nora seemed lonely. She often sat by the glass barrier, watching the passing visitors intently, though her eyes betrayed no particular interest. It was as if something essential was missing: a true friend to share her small feline joys. Everything changed the day Lily entered her life, a tiny tricolor domestic cat with bright patches on her fur. Lily was about the same age as Nora, and at first, their sizes were nearly identical. The story of how she came to the zoo was as surprising as the events that followed. One morning, the staff discovered a small cardboard box by the entrance gates, inside of which this little creature was softly meowing. Someone, likely a visitor, had decided the zoo would be the best home for her and left her there to fate. The workers couldn't simply ignore this discovery. After much deliberation, they made a bold decision to try introducing the tiny cat to the lynx cub. Of course, no one expected them to become friends right away. The process was gradual, carefully supervised by specialists. Their initial meetings were brief. Nora and Lily studied each other closely, sniffing and observing, but keeping their distance, hesitant to engage more actively. Then, something astonishing happened that melted the hearts of everyone watching. Lily took the first step. One day, cautiously stepping forward on her little paws, she approached Nora and gently touched her nose to hers. Then, as if testing the reaction, she affectionately rubbed against Nora's fluffy fur. Despite her innate strength and predatory nature, Nora responded with unexpected tenderness. She didn't flinch her growl but simply sniffed her new acquaintance carefully. That was the moment their friendship began to take root, fragile yet remarkably strong. As time passed, Nora began to grow. Her paws became more powerful, her fur took on its adult hue, and her movements started to reflect the grace of a true predator. Lily, meanwhile, remained the same diminutive cat, lively, curious, and brimming with energy. The difference in their sizes grew increasingly apparent, but it didn't affect their bond in the slightest. Lily continued to leap fearlessly onto Nora's back, like a rider atop her trusty steed, and the lynx patiently endured her antics. Occasionally, Nora would give a gentle shake to dislodge her pesky but beloved companion, though she did so with such care that it was clear how much she cherished her little friend. They played chase, rested together side by side, and even napped curled up in a cozy bundle. Their friendship became a true sensation. Zoo visitors flocked to see with their own eyes how a massive lynx and a tiny cat could coexist so harmoniously. The caretakers couldn't believe their eyes either. Typically, wild felines like lynxes don't tolerate other animals nearby, especially those of a different species. But Nora and Lily defied every stereotype. Their attachment to each other was so evident that even the most skeptical staff members began to wonder, how is this possible? However, when Nora reached full maturity, the caretakers faced a serious dilemma. Despite all the tenderness the lynx showed toward Lily, she remained a wild animal with powerful instincts. No one could guarantee that those instincts wouldn't one day take over. After much thought, they decided to separate the friends. Lily was moved to a separate space next to Nora's enclosure, where they could see each other through the glass but no longer interact directly. This decision was hard on both of them. Nora spent hours sitting by the barrier, searching for her friend with her gaze, while Lily, perched on the windowsill of her new room, meowed plaintively as if calling Nora to return. The caretakers couldn't bear this separation for long and decided to resume their meetings, gradually increasing the time they spent together. Fortunately, their fears proved unfounded. Nora continued to treat Lily with the same caution and care, and the little cat never lost her boldness or playful spirit. Their friendship turned out to be stronger than any natural barrier, and soon they were inseparable once more. The story could have ended there, but fate had another surprise in store. One day, a new resident arrived at the zoo, an adult lynx named Tiger. Rescued from the wild, he was older than Nora and thus more independent, even aggressive. The caretakers worried about how Nora, accustomed to sharing her space with Lily, would react to this new neighbor. Yet their concerns quickly dissipated. When Nora first saw Tiger, she approached him with the same caution she'd shown Lily and gently touched his paw. Tiger was wary at first, but gradually began to accept her company. And Lily? Not only did she not grow jealous of her friend, but she watched the new arrival with curiosity, as if welcoming him into their little group. Thus, an extraordinary trio formed in the zoo: Nora, Lily, and Tiger. They became a true family, each finding their place. Visitors couldn't tear their eyes away from the sight: a large lynx, a tiny domestic cat, and another wild lynx living in harmony, caring for one another, and even playing together. On cold days, they huddled close, warming each other with their body heat. On sunny days, they raced around the enclosure, delighting everyone who watched. If Lily wandered off, Nora would softly call her back, and Tiger would sometimes shield the little one with his paw, as if protecting her from unseen dangers. Word of this story spread quickly through the zoo and beyond its borders. Journalists, photographers, and even scientists began to arrive, trying to unravel the secret of this unusual bond. By all the laws of nature, a lynx shouldn't coexist with either a domestic cat or another adult lynx, but Nora, Lily, and Tiger proved otherwise. Their friendship became a living testament to the idea that sometimes feelings, attachment, care, the desire to be near, are stronger than instincts and logic. Who could have imagined that a lynx and a domestic cat would become not just neighbors but true friends? Yet this story is the ultimate proof that the most unexpected alliances can often be the strongest and most genuine. There may be no scientific explanation for their bond, but there's something far greater: a warmth that touches the hearts of all who hear about it.